Okay, let's go. Fuck me, this car's fast. Holy shit. Birdy 39 channel, welcome. It's another episode of Birdy vs The World. Today, Birdy's up against 2018 Honda Vezel. I may be wrong on this. I think this is usually called, around Europe and America, a HRV. In Japan is a Vezel. Vezel, I don't really like the name Vezel. Sounds like vajazzle to me. And I don't like HRV either. Sounds like some sort of infection. This car is actually my wife's mum's car, and she's got such a bad back. She hasn't been driven it in a month, so she's worried about the battery and stuff. So I offered to take it out a couple of times. So here we are. I thought I'd make a video with it. So yeah, black Honda Vezel. I think it's 2018. I might be wrong on that. And yeah, so we're gonna do a comparison video. This car against my 1985 Nissan Bluebird. This channel's about my Bluebird, but I think it's going to be useful to people who might be looking at one of these, buying one second-hand. So doing a bit of research, found this video on YouTube, so it's always nice, isn't it, just to see, look around a car, get someone else's opinion, and yeah, just it's like having a closer look at something you're about to buy. So yeah, well, check out the design of it, look inside, go for a drive, and I'll give you my opinions. But just so you know, I'm very biased towards older cars, so don't get upset if my 80s car beats this one. Anyway, right, so let's have a look around it. Yeah, modern car, everything I don't like about modern cars. There's no design. Well, there's a design, but it's completely soulless. It's just like a blob. This is a classic blob car. Look at it. It sort of looks like it might be a sort of cool looking sporty hatchback, like a Seat Leon sort of is reminding me of, but raised up on big wheels. I really don't get these kind of crossover design cars. It's like, what is it? It's like a hatchback that wants to be a four-wheel drive car, but is sort of neither. But I don't hate it. Maybe I'm being cruel. The front is quite a cool design. Look, it's sort of sporty, is a little bit aggressive. Let's take my shades off. Yeah, a bit sporty, a bit aggressive, and I do like what they've done with the colour difference there. It's almost like a greeny grey chrome colour there. It works quite well against the black. Just sort of lessens it being too dark and moody. I would have preferred it with just all silver wheels. Obviously it's just your choice what you prefer. What are these wheels? Let's have a look. 215/55/17, so 17 inch, 5.5, a little bit not crazy low profile, but low profile enough to make the suspension terrible, even though it's raised up really high like an off-roader. It rides really hard. Like, I don't know why modern cars are so hard on suspension. It's like they care more about track times than they do about passenger comfort. Just make a car that rides really nicely. It's a lost art. Like I'm really missing my old Jaguar XJ lately. That car used to handle okay, but it rode really nice. And even though I lowered it, I had like custom springs made for it. It was still really nice to drive. I'm really thinking about that car a lot lately. I might even get one day, another one out here in Japan. Anyway, so yeah, design, blob, there's nothing really offensive about it, but just general overall, not that impressive. There's nice shapes going on. Perhaps I find this a bit over complicated, like they're just adding design for no reason, no function there. I do like the shape of the rear lights, and they've got sort of tinted red, massive great indicators on the corners. It's all right. Anyway, it's whether you like it or not, it doesn't really matter what I think, does it? Okay, right. Door handle, that feels horrible. Can you hear that? It's cheap, mass-produced, cheaply made car. Okay, right. Let's have a look inside. This is someone's car, so there are bits in here, so it's not going to be immaculately clean and tidy. I actually quite like the design of it, but when I sit in it, fuck me, it's tiny. Why is there so little space in here? This is literally like my old Mark 1 Golf. I can just easily reach across and like touch that door handle. This is such a small car inside. I feel really like this is really overpowering me. And then also looking forward, you know, like a windscreen is for like looking out of when you're driving. It's been reduced to just like, I've got this kind of L shape there. That's what it feels like when you're driving. Just a very narrow it's terrible. I'm constantly ducking down. I can't find a way to lower the seat. It's a bit cold, so I just close myself in. Yeah, feels really cramped in here. I can't believe for such a blob, big-ish car, it feels so small on the inside. Like this dash goes on for miles, like there to there is like 15 meters. And then that windscreen, I can't see anything out of it because this is so big. You've got all this crap here in the way. Like when you're used to older cars, you get in new ones, you feel very claustrophobic. Massive, obviously, safety regulations. These just have to get stronger and stronger. There'll be a massive, like, sort of strengthening bar there. I can't see anything. Like that massive great mirror there. Obviously, going to be rules for rear view. It's so big. I can't. All this section is all blocked. I might be wanting to turn right sometimes, you know, in a car. I want to see around there. Like a very physical experience driving this car. I'm doing this to look over there, like going that to look that way. It's a pain in the ass. Rear visibility, terrible. Look at it. That's a small window, and like everything below it I can't see. I literally, it's probably 10 meters behind the car before I can actually see the ground. Terrible. The design of this car, I don't know why they've designed it, but not good for passengers and the driver. It's like they've come up with a bad design and then have to really work hard to make it possible to sit in and drive, and it doesn't really work. Just start really with the passenger having a good experience, and then the car should be built around that. It's like they've done it backwards. It's like they start with a blob and then just try to fit everything in it. Doesn't really work. Okay, right, so doing a lot of moaning already. Okay, right, anyways, quick chat about the controls. Push power. I wish I'd made a video while this was all very new to me. It's still kind of new to me, but I was really struggling with it. It would have been quite funny. So anyway, little sign there. God damn, shut up. I hate this about modern cars. They're constantly beeping. What's going on? I haven't got my seatbelt on. Okay, I know. What the fuck? Shut up. So, I literally don't know what to do. Anybody really Japanese? Right. Fuck these modern cars. Right, so say I want to pull away. I have to put it in drive and then push that. And I think, there you go, that moves that. So what I don't like, I like to put my car in neutral and put the handbrake on, but I did it. I had a go while I was on the way here, and I got it neutral, and I did that, and yeah, that worked. But when the lights went green, got that in drive, and I pushed that, it didn't work. Yeah, like that. So, oh, there you go. Yeah, it did work. Well, it didn't work for me in traffic, so anyway, I was faffing about, panicking, trying to get the car to go again, and the lights were green. I just felt bad. So now, basically, because I'm a bit nervous until I figure this out, I'm just one of those idiots that sits in traffic with the light, my foot on the rear brake, blinding everyone behind me. So, yeah, I've still got a bit to learn about this, but a bit annoying. There's nothing natural to me, and all these controls are not, I wouldn't describe them as user-friendly. It's going to take me a bit of effort, a bit of experience to actually understand how to do all this. So it's a bit annoying. And oh, the engine just started. I don't know why, it just did. No, reverse. This is a pain in the ass. Neutral, there you go. Is that on? There you go, that's on. Oh, now we're beeping. Why is there a P? Yeah, I know there's a P. Okay, I'm just gonna push off. So anyway, right, let me see if I can. I want to use I want this to light up. No, I don't want the engine to start. All this, yeah. Just touchscreen. Do you know how soulless and crap that is? So I quite like pushing buttons and switches and stuff. You know, in my car, I can just have a quick look and find the toggles and the switches and stuff, and I can do the controls. I can change the blower, I can change the temperature, I can get the car to do what I want. A very little time of my eyes off the road, so it's safer to be able to feel your way around and get the controls you want. On a touchscreen, you can't. You've got to look for more time, and also, I kind of like pushing buttons and toggle switches and stuff. It's sort of, that's a little bit of pleasure that does not exist on these touchscreen things. So I miss that about old phones as well. Like, I could literally, my old Nokia, like years ago, I could literally write a text, like just my phone in my pocket. I could just put my hand on it, one hand. I was so good at using it, just I could write a text with one hand and then send it as well, because I just mastered the control. And you need the buttons to be able to do that. Try and put your hand in your pocket without looking at your smartphone and try and like open it up, like select messages or WhatsApp or whatever, and then write a message and send it to the correct person. No way you can do that. Okay, let's talk about comfort a bit. To be fair, the seats are a bit hard, but they're quite supportive, they're quite nice. They are, I have to say, just right, really, for this kind of car, for a person who just uses a car just because they want a car to get about and use. The seats are good, but just the visibility kind of ruins it. My mind instantly starts complaining. But the seat, comfort-wise and support, it's actually really good. I do like the seat. So let's have a look in the back. No door handle, a nice little bit of design feature here. They sort of hidden the handle here. Something that it first appeared on a car, I can't remember what it was, but I think it was an Alfa Romeo or something. It had the door handle hidden there. It was a bit clever, like years ago, first saw that. But it's quite smart. Look in the back, big speakers for the back as well. I like that. A big fan of big speakers. It looks really good and quite nice quality as well. Well made, and the material is a nice design and feels like it's going to be like hard wearing and stuff. So I like the design. Looking in the back, I don't really have any complaints. I'll just sit in it, I suppose we should. Yeah, good bit of knee space. I'm quite a leggy boy. I'm like 5'11", 5'11" on a good day, and usually 5'10". Maybe in the morning I'm 5'11", at night I'm 5'10". Yeah, it's good actually for the back. This lump is sticking in my back. That's quite annoying. So you're gonna have to, any kind of normal size adult will likely raise that up. Yeah, good. Oh look, that looks like that goes up. That's pretty clever, look. So yeah, the middle comes up as well, so that's cool. So just in case you want to see even less out the back window, you can raise that up. Oh my god, I can't get that down. Anyway, so we've got that goes up. This comes down, I like that, nice little feature. Comfort for the rear passengers. Okay, so scores a few points for the back passengers. See if we can open this. Don't actually. Okay, that was electric. It's not. So excuse all the stuff in here, but I mean, it's all right. I mean, for shopping and stuff, no problem. You could get a few suitcases in there. I would sort of expect it to be bigger, but it's fine. It's all right. Close that massive, great monstrosity of a rear hatch. Let's have a look at the engine. Must be this one. Oh, that sounded very tinny and crappy. How the fuck does this work? There we go. So there we go. Plastic cover, like they like to do. Earth Dreams Technology Hybrid Honda. I don't know what the engine size is on this. It's 1.8, I don't know, something I guess, I don't know. Electrically assisted. Yeah, it's just all here, isn't it? Nothing really exciting going on. So I did this before with that little Suzuki Alta, like literally it was the same place here. I noticed that white line, so what I'm going to do is put the car there, I'm going to start there, I'm going to roll forward until the front wheels are kind of there on this corner, and then I'm just going to turn, maximum lock, and then just see where the car ends up there, and then I can use that. If I always do that with all the cars I test, it's like a fair comparison on the steering lock. Couldn't quite go up to the wall straight. Anyway, let's go for a drive. Okay, so let's go for a drive, if I can actually start it. Okay. So, still laughing at the beeps, but that just gets so annoying for me. Drive. No, not drive. Going backwards first. There we go. Oh, there we go. I don't mind the on-off, the stop-start technology thing. All right, pulls away in silence on that electric motor. It rolls along quite nicely. Engine just kicked on, doing like 10 miles an hour. Doors automatically locked. Seems really sturdy in a straight line. Electric motor just turned off again as I go downhill. The brakes, I'm used to them now, but they're kind of over servoed. Another classic complaint I have with new cars. The brakes are almost too good, too sensitive. It takes a bit of practice to get to use them smoothly. Steering, again, modern cars, just overly light. There's just no feel. It's like playing a computer game. You're pushing buttons and controlling things, but there's no feel to actually what you're doing. Sounds pretty quiet. It's pleasant, I guess, sound. The sound of the engine, I mean. I think there's quite a lot of tyre roar though. Got the window down. Another little SLK. I haven't seen one of those before in Japan. I really like those cars. They're kind of known as like quite girly car, bit of a hairdresser's car, but I really like design. Really cool little two-seater car. Something's fucking beeping in here. Okay, I just run a red light. Perfect. Love that. Red lights don't mean too much in Japan. You're kind of okay. Seriously. I'll have to do a video on driving in Japan because it is a different experience, and I've learned a lot about how Japanese usually drive their cars and different types of cars and how you expect them to drive. Right, this car rolls along quite nicely, feels very sturdy and stable, but overly hard. Considering the size of the wheels and how raised up the suspension is, I don't know why it's so hard. Again, it's like they tune the suspension for handling, not ride comfort. I think ride comfort should take priority, especially in this kind of like just call it a bike, this sort of like shopping car. I don't know what you call it. There's an SUV blob just for going to the shops in. It's just alright. It's just a car. I tell you what, it's like if I went on holiday and I wanted to hire a car and I wanted something slightly bigger or slightly more special than just the base version, I'd imagine this is the kind of car you get. Let's see if I can go back out on a faster road, and I'll put my foot down a bit. Also, another complaint I've got. This video is just me complaining about this car. It feels like I'm sat on it. It doesn't feel like I'm sat in it. It's not like I'm part of the car. It's like, you know, like if you just got a skateboard and you literally just sat down on a skateboard. It feels like that. It's like I can easily imagine the wheels and a chassis just about 2 foot below where my bum is, and I'm like on this kind of platform just rolling along. It really feels like I'm sat on it, which is not enjoyable. I'll put my foot down a bit now. Bit delayed response, but fuck me, it goes. Holy shit. Surprisingly fast. Wow. I think Birdy is going to lose the acceleration test. Really responsive. But I can say it takes a few seconds to get into gear and do its thing, but when it does, it really shifts. I think under attack the gear changes stopped feeling quite smooth. But wow, that went really well. Okay, wow, okay. Wow, blobbery. Doesn't like corners. Considering how hard this car accelerates, all of a sudden stops being fun when you've got to go around a corner. Shit, and how it powers. And here we are with the Bluebird. Right, Birdie, let's have a look around here. The video's about the Vezel really, but I'll have a quick go around the Bird, as we always do. So checking out design, 80s square boxy design, love it. I love looking at the front. There's some nice shapes on there, like the old school design where they put like the lights in the grille, like right on the front of the car. It works so well. Maybe it's not aerodynamic or something anymore, I don't know, like car manufacturers don't really seem to do it anymore. And there is one car actually that I've seen about in Japan a little bit. There's a new electric car, I think it's Honda. Looks really cool. It's a bit like the old hatchbacks, like the 205 GTI or the Mark 1 Golf. It's got that kind of overall shape to it, and they put round lights on the front, like either side of the grille, and it works so well. I don't know why car manufacturers have moved away from that. They seem to want to put the lights on top but beaming forward. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's something to do with pedestrian safety regulations, but whatever. You don't see it much anymore, and it works really well, so it's nice when you see these old cars. Yeah, I love the front. Boxy side profile, high suspension, big balloon tyres, that makes it look very old-fashioned. Love the big rear lights. I think it's a Mark II Toyota Sora. You see them about here in Japan still. They're quite expensive, like they're quite desirable. Again, from this era, the lights are similar to this Bluebird, like big wide rear lights. Totally overpowering the back end, but somehow it works. I really like design. So I'll show you inside. People who see my videos before would have seen all this before, but if you're new to my channel, there you go. This is what a 1980s Nissan Bluebird is like on the inside. Not perfect condition, but this is actually quite a good example for this car. So you might not see them like with original floor mats and stuff. Perhaps not too common anymore. Let's have a look in the back. Bluebird floor mats. I've got the original Bluebird white seat covers as well. I've got the Bluebird logo on. I hate them unfortunately, but I'll keep them with the car. Sort of an original feature that's probably hard to find now. But yeah, nothing shocking about it really. They're actually quite comfortable to sit in, and they feel really nice. My only complaint is these are really popular in Japan. Japanese people love them because they're very quiet and they're comfortable and they're nice to touch. But compared to leather, they grip your clothes. So sometimes you get in, depends what you're wearing, what the material is, but it grips and it pulls things up. Like if you've got a jacket, like some sort of material kind of jacket, it will pull it up and you end up sort of having to sort of adjust your jumpers and whatever you're wearing. You have to sort of pull things straight again. That's my only problem with it. But it is comfortable, it is nice, and it seems to last very long, very well. It's quite hard wearing stuff, even though it's like very soft and comfortable. So there you go, that's the inside. Right, getting in the driver's seat. It feels like I'm sat in the car, so it wins over the Vezel straight away. It's nice, it's a nice driving position, the way your feet hit the pedals and stuff. My only complaint, and I've mentioned this in all the videos when I test this car against others, is these seats are not good. Anything more than like half an hour, you're getting a bit fidgety. That's why, I don't know if you saw that earlier in the video, I've got this cushion to roll it up and just put it on my lower back, and it makes it so much nicer to sit in. So I've sort of fixed the problem, but basically the seats are either the sponge is too soft right from when they were new, or they're just worn out like unfavorably for comfort. But yeah, that's my only complaint really for driving this car. But otherwise, actual visibility and everything is really good, and it's a nice place to be sat in this car. I like it. Okay, practical. How practical is this car for actually moving stuff around? It's pretty good. That's a big sub box. That's two 12-inch subs, so it gives you an idea on the actual size. That's like over 2 foot there. yeah, it goes quite deep and there's a lot of space there. Certainly, I'm quite sure, a lot more space than in the back of that Vezel, so no problem at all with suitcases and golf bags or whatever. Anyone plays golf anymore. Oh no, this is original. There's an original sticker off my jacks come off. Oh well. Okay. Is pretty samey as the Vezel, to be honest. Couldn't quite strain it up. There's a bit more space at the front, but it's what it is. Pretty samey. So let's go for a drive. Reverse. The rear visibility, no problem at all. Really good. Way better than the Vezel. Way better than a lot of cars. Gear change, a bit notchy, but it's old school. And this was not an exotic car, even when it was new, so how does it compare all these years later? Visibility's good, steering, I can feel it, oh my god. I can literally connect the vibrations I've got through my hands to how the tyres are gripping the road, how much the wheels are turning. I can feel like a buzz through the accelerator pedal, changing gear. I felt when the second gear engaged. On the brakes a little bit now. Yep, there's like a... Waiting for this guy. Okay. Very sharp corner there. Ah, it's a joy. And then also it feels like I'm sat in the car, not on it, and it makes a massive difference to just enjoying the drive. It just feels so alive, having a naturally aspirated car with a carburetor where you can hear the engine, you can feel the wheels turning, like you literally got a sense of how much grip is on the through the tyres. That Vezel is so numb compared to this. I literally, from testing new cars, it makes me like this car even more. It's not as fast, not as economical. My god, is it so much better to drive. Over my shoulder, mirror is plenty big enough to see behind me, but it's not so big, it's literally blocking me seeing forward over there towards the right. That Vezel mirror, silly, so big. I'm biased towards old cars, yeah, like I said in the video when I was testing the Vezel. It's not for no reason. It's because I've got the comparison of this old car and I'm driving other people's newer cars. And I just so much prefer this. It's far from perfect. It's old, it's a bit worn out, it's like vibrates, it's a bit rattly. Like my stereo shakes the interior a bit, so everything's a bit noisy now. I could fix that, but I don't mind. A bit of charm. It feels like half the weight as well as that Vezel. Okay. Come on, lads. Yes, Birdy. Not as fast as the Vezel, nowhere near it, but so much more fun to drive. I can feel the buzz through the accelerator pedal. It's actually got a decent amount of shove for an old car. It just feels alive. It feels just charm. I don't know what the word is. It's got like a character that's totally missing at the Vezel. So it doesn't accelerate as hard, but I can feel the road through the tyres, through the steering wheel, through the pedals. It's just, I can hear the engine. It just feels so much more alive. It's a much more enjoyable car to drive. Really nice. It beats the Vezel on everything except acceleration, but I don't miss it at all. It's just so much nicer to drive this car. So I've got a bit of time today, and weather's nice, so I'm literally gonna just enjoy my drive. I'm gonna go out to the mountains and come back again, just for no reason at all, other than I just enjoy driving the Bluebird. So click like and subscribe for the algos. Catch you on the next upload.